fault that Justin Bieber got by Diddy.
Not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy anymore.
All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, 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 yeah.
And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Yeah, because I know the topic is sensitive. What happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry.
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off.
And we want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like,
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
To New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
Both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think he was.
In a shocking turn of events, two of the music industry's brightest stars, Usher and Justin Bieber, are at the center of disturbing revelations. These stories, now coming to light, cast a shadow over the industry and one of its most powerful figures, Sean Diddy Combs. What exactly happened during Usher's formative years under Diddy's mentorship? How does Justin Bieber fit into this narrative? Today, we're diving deep into the troubling intersections of their careers and uncovering the allegations that have shaken the music world to its core. At just 14 years old, Usher's journey into the music world took an unexpected and life-changing turn. L.A. Reid, one of the most influential figures in music at the time, made a decision that would forever shape Usher's career. Reid believed Usher needed a more hip-hop-infused sound, and to achieve this, he sent the young artist to live with Diddy in New York City. For a teenager from Chattanooga, Tennessee, the move was both thrilling and overwhelming. Usher has since opened up about this period, referring to it as an environment filled with very curious things. While he has been careful with his words, the implications of what he experienced have raised significant questions. Usher once described his time there as a fast track into adulthood, hinting at exposure to situations no teenager should endure. Usher's days under Diddy's wing involved late-night studio sessions, high-energy parties, and interactions with individuals far older than him. It felt like a crash course in how to navigate a world I wasn't ready for, Usher admitted in an interview years later. Though he became a star, insiders claim the price he paid emotionally and psychologically was steep. One of the most concerning aspects of this period was the lack of adult supervision beyond Diddy himself. Industry veterans have since questioned why a teenager was placed in an environment with little accountability. This decision has left a lingering question. What kind of mentorship prioritizes career development at the expense of a young artist's well-being? Fast forward to the late 2000s, and Usher was no longer a teenager finding his footing. He was a global superstar. By then, he had become a mentor himself, discovering Justin Bieber on YouTube. Bieber's rise was meteoric, thanks in large part to Usher's guidance. However, the parallels between Usher's and Bieber's early careers are now being scrutinized in a harsh new light. One particularly controversial period in Bieber's life involved a 48-hour span when he was just 15 years old. During this time, Bieber was reportedly exposed to a party atmosphere similar to what Usher described from his own teenage years. Recently resurfaced footage from this time has sparked public outrage. In the footage, Bieber is seen interacting with adults in environments that many believe were entirely inappropriate for someone his age. Sources close to Bieber have revealed that he is now disgusted by some of the allegations involving Diddy and his role in shaping the careers of young artists. Bieber, who has often been vocal about his struggles with fame, appears to view these revelations as part of a larger pattern of exploitation within the industry. Justin feels betrayed, an insider claimed. He trusted the adults around him to have his best interests at heart, but that trust was clearly misplaced. The resurfacing of these stories has also reignited debates about how young artists are managed. Why was a 15-year-old exposed to such situations? and who was responsible for ensuring his safety. The lack of answers has left fans and critics alike demanding accountability. The music industry's glamorous facade often conceals a much darker reality. Over the years, former insiders have started speaking out about the systemic issues that allow these troubling situations to persist. One of the most pressing questions is, why were young artists placed in potentially harmful environments in the first place? In Usher's case, the decision to send him to live with Diddy was justified as a career move. But who was looking out for Usher's well-being? Similarly, Justin Bieber's rapid ascent came with its own set of challenges, including exposure to adult parties and questionable influences. The lack of proper guardianship and oversight, in both cases, points to a broader failure within the industry. The role of management teams, parents, and other responsible parties cannot be overstated. Artists like Usher and Bieber were marketed as young, relatable talents, but behind the scenes, they were often treated as commodities. This culture of exploitation has left a trail of emotional and psychological scars for many young stars. In recent years, several former child stars have come forward with similar stories. Their accounts paint a grim picture of an industry that prioritizes profit over protection. Some describe being pushed into adult situations long before they were ready, while others recount being manipulated by powerful figures who were supposed to be their mentors. The lack of safeguards within the industry has also been a topic of legal debate. Advocacy groups have called for stricter regulations on how young artists are managed, including mandatory chaperones and transparency in contractual agreements. While progress has been made, these reforms are often met with resistance from an industry reluctant to change. In recent years, a wave of artists and industry professionals has begun to break the silence, shedding light on these issues. Usher himself has spoken more candidly about his early experiences, though he continues to approach the topic with caution. His words, however, have inspired others to come forward, creating a ripple effect throughout the industry. The revelations about Diddy, in particular, have sparked a broader conversation about accountability. As more voices join the chorus, the industry is being forced to confront its failures. The courage of those speaking out has already led to significant changes, including increased scrutiny of management practices and a renewed focus on safeguarding young artists. Efforts to prevent similar situations are now gaining traction. Advocacy groups, artists, and even some industry executives are calling for reforms. These include stricter regulations on how young talents are managed and greater transparency in contractual agreements. While there is still a long way to go, the momentum for change is undeniable. For Usher and Bieber, breaking the silence has not been without its challenges. Both artists have faced backlash for their revelations, with some accusing them of seeking attention. However, their willingness to speak out has opened the door for others to share their stories, amplifying the call for reform. The stories of Usher and Justin Bieber serve as stark reminders of the music industry's darker side. As more revelations come to light, the need for systemic reform becomes increasingly urgent. Protecting young artists is not just a moral obligation, but a necessity for the future of the industry. Usher's willingness to share his experiences, combined with the public's growing awareness, has the potential to spark real change. The bravery of those speaking out against powerful figures like Diddy is paving the way for a safer, more ethical industry. For fans and industry insiders alike, the hope is that these stories will lead to a brighter, more protective environment for the next generation of artists. As we reflect on these revelations, one thing is clear. The courage to speak out is the first step toward lasting change. For Usher, Justin Bieber, and countless others, this moment represents an opportunity to rewrite the narrative and ensure that the next wave of artists can pursue their dreams without fear.